Mark. Did you hear me?
I did.
Oh, okay. And Josh too. I'm meeting you now as well.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
And can you see Mike? Can you just see? Can you see two people on the Can you see other people on the screen?
I see itty bitty people over here, and I see some little art things that I've done in the center, but I can't see me. I don't need to see me.
Do you see
Hey,
me?
Mike.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So that's good. So then,
is there like a setting that I should set to where I can see something different, or?
I think it's
Maybe.
up to you, really. There should be some different viewing options, probably.
if you're okay with it, and you know there's three of us above you, and that we're gonna I'm gonna basically just start off talking with you, and then they're gonna ask some, we're just gonna have art conversations or whatever. If you're fine with it, the way it is, I'm totally fine with it. This is basically to be able to like scroll through your stuff and ask particularly about your stuff, or whatever for the thing. But we're trying new stuff, but we're excited to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm super sorry. I was trying to bring my squirrel in here. Give me a little beep beep.
Oh my God, you have a squirrel.
How did I forget to tell you about the squirrel?
I feel like she basically. I want to be a pirate, only instead of a parrot, I want to have like a squirrel. That's been my goal.
That's the best.
Anyway, we were gonna plan it somewhere else, but we figured this would be best. So yeah, here we are. And I was like, I have to say, I was a little nervous at first, because I don't really like do Zoom things. But I did check my booger situation. We're all clear, and I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I'm so happy that you joined, because I'm a big fan, and I'm probably gonna repeat this because I'm setting it up to go live on Facebook as we're talking to.
Oh, that's fine. I can say stuff again too.
I will be saying that I'm a big fan again, probably at least more than once. But
well, I can take the compliments, I guess.
Well, I just appreciate you taking time out, because I know that you are really busy, and that's I just I think we have so much in common. It's funny because we don't really know each other. I was telling you, we're more acquaintances, but I feel like I know you because we're Facebook friends,
right.
And then and we're both artists, but it's just cool seeing so many common interests and.
I was telling Adam today, I was just like, dude, Mark is so cool because I know you're busy. I know you're busy because I see how many things that you just do. But not only that, but you're supporting the art community, which is so important, because I feel that, not that we don't support the art community, I feel like in Wilmington we're really we've grown so much in that way, but we need that, and we need somebody to be out there and have these podcasts and share what people are doing, because we have to use each other, because if we don't have each other, then we basically are just farting art all over the place going, I hope somebody sees me. So.
Oh man, I really wish I would have been able to go live right with the farting all over the place. Well,
can the squirrel come back on demand?
Yeah, I mean, we can do that.
Yes.
There's no.
We can get squirrel on demand.
I love it.
That sounds like an album name, and I'm about to go live, and I'm about to ask you about your music, and also if possibly that will be your next. You're all right. I think we are live on Facebook, and we're live here with Sally Martin. Sally.
Hi. It's live all of a sudden changes me or something.
I know, but we're really not live. This just forget all that. We're not.
No, we're not live.
It just says we're live, but
I'm just
like
waiting a little bit more.
exactly. But we were just saying squirrel on demand. That would be a great
Hold on. She'll come. Give us a moment. This is
I
not.
know that.
Yeah, I mean, squirrel, like, they're kind of unpredictable. And I don't have like a nut on me. Come here, BB. This is Zim. She comes and goes as she pleases. Come here. She pleases. Come on. She knows we're live too, and she's like, eh.
I feel really bad that I put you on the spot like that. There we go. We are here with live with Sally Martin and Zim the squirrel, and we just wanted to go ahead and rein in the first squirrel in our podcast thing that we're ever doing. I love it.
It won't be the last.
Awesome. We'd love to have you as a regular guest. But yeah, Squirrel on Demand, I think would be the ultimate album name for your first solo album. With I was going to ask you, you write songs too, correct?
Do I write? Oh yes, I do. Speaking of Squirrel on Demand, I've definitely written like pieces of songs that are like replacing the world with the word either world or girl with the word squirrel, like I'm just a squirrel, I'm just a squirrel in the world, Gwen Stefani style. But like I do those things all the time. Like I kind of want to have like I want to write music that's people need to hear, because I think nowadays like we do express ourselves that way. But like also I have this secret like wanting to write like a Weird Al but Weird Sal album. And
Yes.
like bucket list type thing and I have so many of those, and they're so stupid, but I think they might actually be better than what I've written, whatever. But yeah, I do have plans at some point to pursue that avenue. I don't know.
I can't wait. I was just gonna say that the first time we had met at a show at Palm Room, but then I remember we were friends on Facebook, and I think we asked it casually or whatever. I saw your beautiful jewelry that was what you were focused on at the time, I think. But we were somehow we became Facebook friends, and then I saw, doing the Broccoli Brothers stuff. I saw the parody, your funny videos, just your funny little TikToks and things, and I was just cracking up. And I was like, for 2 or 3 years now, I've been like, oh, we gotta get Sally Martin to do like some kind of a little segment on one of the things. Like I basically want to just borrow one of the things you had and
like when you did, well, first of all, like I was catching up on things today, because I had this new art commission thing that I'm doing, so it's taking up a lot of time, but I was trying to catch up on you guys, and like I heard the word celery tops today for the first time, and it was just like, oh, man, that's why I love this guy, because I just appreciate just being able to take whatever you see and make, I mean, art is serious, but it can be fun and funny, and it can't, like, obviously that's why art is so awesome, because like it's not one thing or another, but like it's really cool to meet other people that are just like are willing to just be completely like vulnerable with it, and like raw and vegetable dinosaur. Right.
I love it. I love the voice. I mean, the voices you do and stuff. The character. The one I'm talking about in particular was you were doing a parody of, like, I think kind of like Steve Irwin-ish type. Like, and
Right. I did. So, all right, I'm going to tell you right now. So we started this groggy greenhouse, and we did this greenhouse for basically like 3 whole months, and then squirrels came into our lives, and that's when I can do Australian for a little bit, just like Irish and Scottish like come and go, and then it turns into like mad English woman.
I do the exact same thing.
Yeah, But like, I'm so glad you enjoy that because it honestly, like, when you're standing out, I was standing outside. If I'm tangent, please tell me because I tend to talk a lot when I'm a little nervous. But like, I'm outside in the backyard. My boyfriend and I, Adam, he's my other partner who he's probably over there.
Hey, Adam.
He's like the behind the scenes, like he's great. But so we built a greenhouse and everything was actually going really well, and it did. We like, I mean, it was, I put all my all into it, but I decided to do like a video, and please, like, there is a YouTube. It's probably one of the most proud things I've done, even though it's like one of the stupidest things. But I'm out there, like, my dad gave me a selfie stick, and I thought when he did it, I was just like, oh, thanks, Dad, because, like, that's not what people give people, you know. Cool. So he gave me a selfie stick, and I'm outside, like, in our backyard by myself, and there, like, we have neighbors and stuff, with, like, a selfie stick, just, like, talking all this really loud about bugs and plants that I've all named. Like, I named all my plants, and I could hear, like, neighbors were like outside, and it was just like, yeah, this it was just kind of like, I know that they know I'm weird, and I was just glad that they, I don't know, but anyway, it was an awkward thing, but it was really fun.
I absolutely love it, and that's what's funny is that I mean, I do so much of the same thing, and me and Mike, who is above you in the, can you see when you can you only see can you only see when he talks, right? You can only see there's only one person above you.
Mike, talk.
I wanted to say that I checked real quick on Facebook on my phone, and it was, well, I turned it off immediately because it was like slightly behind. I didn't want to distract, but
Okay.
when I did check, I could only see Mark. I could see Mark, and I could see what we have, you know, your artwork in the center.
Let's see.
Just as a heads up, I don't know if anyone else is showing up on the screen on a live thing.
I'll take it in a minute. I'll take that too. Because you know what, it doesn't even really matter too, because for the lot, we'll have this for when I edit for the.
Oh, you will? Okay.
Actual thing. So
I'm looking, and I see things that I don't want to push, because usually when I push buttons, it all goes really bad. So
yeah, but well, anyway, Mike.
Yeah.
There was something I was gonna say about Mike, and I totally forgot about the videos. I make the stupid videos for people like Mike, people like you if you ever see them, people like Josh, and Josh actually isn't on Facebook, so he doesn't see half the really stupid ones I put on Facebook. But like I really feel like there's only a certain group of my friends that appreciate them and like them, and I'm kind of okay with that, because they're things that I do that are just really more for comedic relief for myself. Like the food parodies thing, it's like, you know, there's so many ways you could go with food parodies, you know, and they're already out there and stuff. But when you discover them, and when you share them, when you animate them, when you make them your own, you know, like whatever it is. But I thought it was just hilarious. I did want to share this with you. My wife and I was showing her some of your carrots, and all of my puppets, like, I don't have a whole lot of, like, I don't have in my characters, I don't have a whole lot of like, you know, they don't have a lot of female characters. There's a few. There's like Broccoli Betty, but that could be Broccoli Betty right there. I'm sure she has her own character and everything. But
yeah,
she suggested that I ask you if it was a dating site for vegetables.
oh my God, we can, like,
Rockerman was kind of like, oh, like you. Just sitting there looking at all your very
we can do this. Like, do you realize there are people out there, like, when you, like, their community, I learned there's a squirrel community, okay? Because, like, I have an Instagram just for squirrels, which I said I would never have an Instagram for a pet until I got a squirrel, and I was like, oh, here she is. But, like, the people, there are groups of people that love one thing, and we all come together, and you just wouldn't even realize it. And I know that there is there's room for a vegetable dating site. Vegetables are organic things, and I think that kind of breaks me out of my shell. A lot of times I used to, when I do art, that's kind of a weird thing to say, when I do art, but when I create art, like I studied, throughout school, and I was really perfectionistic, and I still kind of am. So I work really detailed, and I think too hard sometimes, and so I kind of depend on like something more organic to like inspire me sometimes. And vegetables are the most perfect thing because they're not all the same and they're not all perfect. I mean, today I got a sweet potato just like at the store because it looked like it had a belly button, and I was like, I feel like you're weird and unique. I have to get you. And that's one thing that I feel like we need more in art, is just kind of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I love it. I agree. And that's why we have this little guild going in Wilmington. It's an unofficial guild, and it's the weird art lovers, and anybody's invited, but people who think abstractly and about things, and
Well, I feel like your stuff, you celebrates like an emotion and a joy and an emotion in what your work is. Like I love that, because I mean, first of all, I strive to be a little bit more abstract sometimes, because I feel like I work in here, and I mean, we all appreciate what every other artist does, because that's what we do, because we can't do what everybody else does. That's why we're unique and artists. But like your stuff is just like, when I look at something that you've done, it's like I can see what you're looking at or what you're thinking, but you're taking an emotion. You're just like, you're saying, this is what emotion I see abstractly when I'm looking at a sunflower and this and that, and that's just important, because it brings that to a new level,
Thanks. Well, I'm glad that comes across.
I guess I'm just curious if I have a chance to ask you a question here about how you manage things between, generating and posting social media, or working up a video, or actually getting to do art, versus, I guess, training a squirrel or doing yoga. Like, are you just rolling with what you feel like putting your time into, or are you organizing this somehow?
It is a lot of organization. Like I'm so freaking weird. I guess we're all weird, but like I'm very free spirited, I feel. But at the same time, like I've got this A-type personality, which I think it's like they kind of battle each other, but it's in a cool way. Like, you have to be organized. I think that's one thing I always think about when it comes to art, is like, we want to just go with the flow. Like, that's kind of the goal, but at the same time, like, there has to be some organization to it. And I mean, with I don't want to tangent too much. Like, we just started kind of like an art business, and it's something that I've wanted to do like my entire life. Like, I never thought it was possible. Like, you think like you grow up going, what are you gonna be? And I mean, when I'm little, it's like, I want to be an artist and a cowboy, which is awesome. And you can be a cowboy. You can, like, it's definitely like everything is possible. But you have to have organization there. And like with the, I'm doing a lot of commission stuff now. It's still a flow, but you have to also have like discipline, Did that answer your question?
I think you're coming to the same conclusions that the rest of us have, that you're fighting a battle, between where your creativity takes you versus the things you have to do to make it.
Art is a burden, but yet it's like the most like wonderful thing that I have. Like, it's so internal and it's so external. And like, when it comes, you talk about social media, and just for anybody out there who is like trying to promote their art or pursue art, like, it's really tough. Like, just to be on like a more serious note, like, it's so tough. It's tough to be like, first of all, you want to show your best self, but you also want to be like relatable, because I feel like all art, for it to be successful, you have to relate to people, and you don't want people to feel like this is what I am, here, look at me. You kind of want people to embrace it, and like if you're not reaching them on that level, then it's no longer as successful as what your intention was. And I think social media kind of sometimes it takes away from that, and it sucks sometimes, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like, go to my website, check me out. But at the same time, like, that's what Mark, that. Like, shoot, like you're just as busy as I am. For me to look at another artist and be like, God, it's so hard. It's like, I freaking know it's hard. Like, it's a lot.
That's why I'm nodding. I'm nodding, like just perpetually nodding in agreement with you here. Everything it is just that balance of back and forth. But you said it best when we were talking, when you told me about the owl thing, which I in turn told Josh to enter too. Josh entered. He lives in Virginia, but he entered too. So we'll all find out soon about the owls. And my daughter entered as well. She did a awesome piece too.
I'm so excited.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't wait. I haven't seen Josh's yet, and I haven't seen yours yet. But we'll after we all get in, we'll see. We're
all gonna get it. We're all gonna get it.
Oh no! Who knew?
Hey, Adam's gonna send you. Adam, he's doing my little side things, but he's gonna send you.
See, I need an Adam over here.
Oh my! Can I tell you something right now? I gotta be really like I gotta be so grateful, and I'm so grateful. Adam is great.
That's what I thought. That's where you were going with it. It's basically like I may not have garlic every once in a while, but I have Adam. He's fantastic, and
I don't, and except for like right now, I'm not even kidding. Adam, I'm sweating right now a little bit, and it kind of smells garlic. It kind of, sweat has that garlic curry thing. My cousin, we used to call him taco pits when he sweat, because it would smell like tacos. But anyway, Adam is great, and he does. We work like he's kind of more science. I might be blushing right now. Hopefully the light's not doing that, because I'm kind of getting one. But he's more science minded. But everybody's an artist, and everybody, even if you're not an artist, if you appreciate art, like you are an art, we are all artists. But we just mesh together. And also, coolest thing ever, and if you are an artist that works with pencils, you will appreciate this. He sharpens my pencils.
What?
Get out.
And I will say, I feel so spoiled, because pencil sharpening, when you're working, like I work all day. I love doing what I do. I have so much joy in my job, but like I said, you still have to treat it as a job. So
it's tedious.
Yeah. And the last thing you want to do is stop shading a dog's nose to sharpen your pencil. And he does other things as well, so it's not like he's there all the time. But for the most part, if he's doing stuff around the house, I'll gather up a stack full of pencils, and I'll be like, Sharpie, and he'll sharpen my pencils. And it's really cool.
That's awesome. And you guys exercise together a lot too, because I think it's so cool that that y'all found each other and help each other in that way. It's very good. It's very.
You don't even know, we haven't even touched on this. I love squirrels so much that if I talk about it too much, I'm going to cry, because I love them. I love them so much. I'm the biggest squirrel. I love them. They're the most amazing creatures in the world. And we'd have to have like 90,000 podcasts to talk about how cool they are. But they've also actually helped me. They're very meditative in a sense. And they're like children. And I think that's also one thing that kind of helped me direct myself as far as like my goals later in life, because I'm not living to like make money and do this or that. I think at this point, some people, I don't want to generalize people. I don't want to like call out like the society, because I don't believe that everybody's like this at all. But like, one tends to maybe believe that like there's a definition of what is successful and of what the goal is. And at the end of the day, like, it's just experiencing joy in what you do every day, and obviously being able to live. And I think the thing is that it sucks is like some people do have to, it takes more work in certain areas than maybe others. You know, artists don't always have it easy, but you know, there are people that have it, you know, that have to do more. But like, if you can do what you love to do and do it and put your all into it and be able to just live, like, that's the goal for me. At one point I wanted to be on American Idol and be famous. I'm not even kidding. I have a quick American Idol story. Do you have a second?
Oh yeah, I've got time.
Okay. Right. So because I don't want to take up like whatever, but so I did try out for American Idol. Because I also sing, and I used to just say, I want to be a famous singer. And they had the Cary Town Center, which is in Cary, obviously. In the mall, they had like tryouts, and I woke up really early with my mom, and they basically, like, you try out and they narrow it down from like however many, there were tons of people out there. They narrowed it down to 100 from like thousands. And then at that, and I mean, this is like started at 4:30 in the morning. We're out there like, you know, sleepy-eyed, stupid. And then when they narrow it down, then those 100 go in the center of the Cary Town Center Mall to sing, not to Simon. I know that would be really cool, but it was 2 judges that like will directly send those people to Simon. So it was really cool at the time because American Idol was like the thing. And I decided I was going to sing Beautiful by Christina Aguilera. And that was when it was cool. Okay. It was way back in like 2003. And I told my mom, like, after I tried out, I made it into the 100, which is cool. And I was like, Mom, I'm changing my song. She's like, don't do that, Sally. You know what happens when you change things. I was like, no, Mom, I'm going to do this. So I changed it to Son of a Preacher Man, which I heard and I knew because I sang. I mean, everybody knows that song. But, and of course, my mom told me how to do it. I get up there, you go up in groups of 10. And so 10 groups of 10 makes up 100. Math time. So I get up there and I sing, Billy Ray was a preacher's son, and mind blank completely. And then, I mean, it's not as terrible as it could be, but there are so many people in the middle of Cary Town Center, like in the middle of the mall, like nothing else. They don't have music playing. It's right in the food court. People are eating like they're like Sbarro pizza, just like watching. And I sing that line, forget my words. And not only that, but like I say shit into the microphone. And they're like kids. It's like kids and everything. And so I say shit. Not only that, like microphones echo. So it's like shit. And then guess what? I got frustrated that I said shit, so I said it again. So double time, shit. And I obviously did not make it. But anyway.
If that would have happened and you would have been that person and focused on that, singing what they wanted you to sing and doing and kind of being owned by all these people, we wouldn't have benefited from these, you know, beautiful earrings and veggie drawings and like squirrel pieces and all the stuff that can be found at your website,
DaVinci's Workshop.com.
Oh, and actually, so I was thinking earlier because I was like, oh, maybe put the website up there. I want to like, I don't want to like be like, oh, that's just me, but I want to do like a promo code so anybody who sees it, there, I want to do like Adam and I kind of talked about it. What was like $10 off or something?
$10 off.
$10 if I'm allowed to do this. You can cut it out if it's not supposed to happen. But
Sure.
$10 off of any purchase for $50 or more with promo code, or we do Port City Arts. Port City Arts.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. I'd love to see if somebody, take advantage of it out there. $10 off, and that's great. Who knows? I'm trying to get these things out there more. I've got a bunch of really cool interviews and things coming up too, which will keep perpetuating things. But
you're like freaking odd. Like you did my eggplant. You put that in one of your videos once. I felt like the most popular girl in the world. When I saw that, I was like, I feel like a superstar. And it was a vegetable video, but like I felt so cool. And like we need to feel cool and proud of those things, and not let what other people are scrolling through affect us, because we don't have time for that. Like we should make more time to create, put more time into creating, and less into focusing on like what others feel about your creations.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like, Sally, I'd love to ask you one quick question here. Yeah. How did you end up with a squirrel as a pet? If I don't ask you that, I'm not gonna be.
Well, okay.
First of all, squirrels are not pets.
First of all, squirrels are not pets.
Okay.
And
fair enough.
Second of all, actually, Mark, this looks like you. And ironically, Adam put this on here because he was like, "You guys met when there was freakers." But this actually,
we got it the day we met.
Yeah, we got this the day we met you, Mark. And this looks.
It actually looks like my drummer Harry Patterson. I had that same freaker I got it that same day. I got it, and I gave it that same one to my drummer because he wears those shades just like that too. And he also.
Well, I don't know your drummer, but it looks kind of like you. So and Mike, so you asked the question. Well, Adam says squirrels are not pets, and I will say that because. You domesticate animals and everything like that, and there are certain animals that they just are wild animals, and obviously, but they're not intended to be like taken into your home or whatever. And so she comes and goes.
Okay.
But she's basically my baby. And what happened was, I'll make this as quick as possible. So, right. One morning we were actually out of the greenhouse, and there was a baby squirrel that had fallen out of the nest, and unfortunately it had passed. Adam tried to do CPR. It was really sad. Like I was obviously upset, and I looked at Adam right then and I said, Adam, if that squirrel had survived, would we take her in and care for her? And he said, well, yeah. That very same day we are headed already up to where I worked at the time, Boca Bay, to take care of fantasy football stuff. And on the way there, already freaking on the way, I get a call from a coworker there saying, Sally, there's a baby squirrel. It's in a shoebox and it's outside under a tree. I don't know what to do. And I was like, weird. And I was like, we're on the way there right now. So we get there, and I had no intentions, just already, like I had this mother bear instinct already of, wanting to take care of her. So we get her, and I don't know what the hell we're doing. And I'm Googling like how to do a baby squirrel. And we get Pedialyte, we get all the things that we need, and we get her home. And the girl that we're intending to get her to take care of her, to kind of rehabilitate her, come here, Zim. She was out of town. So we took it upon ourselves to she's gonna be a little crazy, to take care of her and nurse her back to whatever, being healthy and whatever. So her eyes weren't opened, and when we're feeding her, like, she opened her eyes, imprints upon us as mom and dad, and so that's kind of how it all happened. And she squirrels, like Zim is so self-aware. I watch her do things and think about things and hide nuts. Like, it's not just like a squirrel going out and planting oak trees for us, which is awesome. They're awesome for that reason. But she slept on me before, and she will hold your hand. Like, they have little hands. It makes them so human because they have little hands. And held she's stolen bites of sandwiches and just held it and sat on her shoulders and eaten it, and she knows her name. I mean, they learn so well. I guess like it just opens your eyes, and I feel like it could have been any squirrel, it could have been any raccoon, it could have been any freaking, I don't know. I mean, toads may not be exactly like that, but like every creature out there, it just kind of opens your eyes, like realizing that this natural world is so incredible, and she's just amazing. So yeah, that's my story, and like it, I love her so much.
Thank you.
Well, she obviously loves you, and thanks for coming out with us tonight. And like I said, we'll have to do this again. We just scratched the surface on some of your. So I didn't even scroll through any of the pages of the catalog, but yeah, I'll be in touch here, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap up tonight because
I know I had such a great time. Mike, it was wonderful meeting you. Mark, obviously great to talk to you again, and Josh out in the ether. Great to talk to you too. And then I can't wait. Like, we're all gonna get these owls. We're gonna hoot and holler, and I love you guys, and I am looking for. I need to join more often in what's going on, and hopefully I'm just gonna try to make some more time to get in with all that kind of stuff, because we support each other.
For sure. Well, much love out there in Facebook land and beyond, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Sally.
All
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper.
Nighty night. All right.
I think I'm off.
Bye now.